I love big titties.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going? Happy October. We're here. We made it. Another year, man. Christian, how's it going, man? We're in October. Are you feeling weaned yet?
Yeah, but the problem is I always burn myself out a little bit on the holiday because not the movies. The movies I'm good, but like on the holiday because I get started in this year. I got started in April, so. I mean, like the sight of a pumpkin is nice, but it's not as nice as I'd like it to feel right now. I need to like lock myself in a cave for 3 or 4 days to purge my system.
Yeah.
So
yeah, dude, as I'm sure you can tell, I got rid of the goatee, and the reason for that was I was out decorating the outside of the house with my son on Sunday, and dude, I was just sweating my balls off, man. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, we're a day away from, it was a day or two away from October at that point. It's 88 degrees out here. Like, this is a crime. Like, this should be a crime. This breaks some kind of international law. I don't know what law, but it's bullshit. And then I look just to see like where we're going to be at. And it says like in the next 10 days, we're going to start to get into like the upper 60s. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. But I mean, that's how it goes around here. I know you guys, it's hot. And then what? Just does it fall off a cliff? Is it gradual?
we have 1 week of fall, and I'll get it probably the first week of November. And then after that, it'll just get cold and stay humid. And it's 1 week of nice weather. I get 1 week of high 60s, and then it's 40s. 30s and 40s until maybe fucking late March, where I can finally like wear a long sleeve tee. The weather down here sucks, but I'm sure everybody listening is like, the weather by me sucks too. What are you bitching about? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one nice week. It's one nice week, man, where you can go out and it doesn't really matter what you wear. Right now it's still fucking hot. And I work in a plant, so it's like whatever the temperature is, it's exaggerated. If it's cold, it's colder in the plant. If it's hot, then it's even hotter because the air just gets stuck in that freaking big tin building. And then you just start everybody's breathing in all the same air, and it just gets hotter and hotter. I should have went to college. I really,
Hey, I'm going to start next year. I'm going to start school in the spring. I've gotten to a point where I'm like, dude, I'm not going to keep doing the like, oh, hey, you're a good manager and you can make enough money to have a life and be technically middle class. But it's like, yeah, this isn't what I want for myself long term, though, man.
Are you serious? Are you going back to school?
Yeah, I'm going back to school in the spring. I'm going to do classes twice a week. So
I just noticed my face.
I had to do some kind of themed background here, and it couldn't be a normal looking face for you. You had to look kind of scared, So
I'm sure it's not hard to find those kinds of faces. For me.
Courtesy of Baldy Jack. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
Oh, that son of a bitch! Yeah. I should have known.
He sends me screenshots literally all the time. I swear he just watches your videos and just starts taking screenshots when you're like mid sentence. You can do that to anybody, but.
It's funny because like when I try to make thumbnails for videos now, I'll take a screenshot from my video and it takes me a while before I find one that I don't look stupid. Like more times than that, when I pause it, and I'm like, I should lean into it. I should start using those pictures as like, that should start being, my thumbnail. So
yeah, honestly,
maybe I'll start doing that.
Your unboxing yesterday, it should have just been like a photo like that, man, of you just like looking like you. I mean, you know what that look is like.
I'm gonna lean into it. I'm gonna start leaning into it. See if anybody likes it or even notices.
Oh, they're gonna notice. But no, it's funny because you talk about that. I notice that all the time when I'm editing. When you're editing video clips and like you're trying to get to the precise point where you start your next point, and it's like right when you're about to open your mouth, or as you're opening your mouth, you're always like, ugh. And it's just like, man, like, I really hope nobody screen grabs that part, because like I look sped. Like, I don't know. It's not great.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically what I'm saying is you can literally take screenshots of anybody's videos as they're talking, and you're going to get some good ones. I think I'm going to try that later tonight, see how many good ones I get. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, it's October. We're here. Obviously, I think everybody is fully in the swing of things right now. And as they should be, man. You know, we wait for this every year. But I said this too, dude. I don't want to get too existential right off the top. But I uploaded a video today. And in the video, I was like, yeah, it's October, but it also sucks because that means I'm about to turn 31. And, you know, it's just like it's gotten to that point now where it's like I love the holidays. And I'm also like, can they slow down though? Because like that's when my birthday is. It's Christmas time. So it's like as soon as October hits, which is, I mean, can we agree this is the best 3-month span, period? October, November, December, best 3-month span.
Absolutely. I didn't used to think so, but now absolutely. I love every minute of it.
Yeah, dude. And as a kid, I didn't really care about Thanksgiving. Now Thanksgiving rips, dude. I love Thanksgiving. Like, sure, you're going to get family together and people are going to want to argue about dumb stuff like politics and sports or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're getting a big ass meal that most of the time you didn't have to pay for. You got leftovers for days. And, you know, get to see the fam. And I don't know. There's just, I like it now. I like Thanksgiving now. I mean, it's the only time of year I eat turkey, though. Only time of year.
For like 4 years in a row, I remember my dad used to, like 20, right when my brother moved out of college, my dad used to love going, he's nuts. He used to love going to, I don't even know if they do this anymore, but he would go to Walmart, man, at fucking 8 o'clock at night, Thanksgiving, like when they were doing Black Friday on Thanksgiving Day. And I went with him one time because he wanted to get a TV. He wanted a TV bad. And he came home empty handed. He's like, Bubba, they've been waiting in line since 7 a.m. out there. And I was like, damn. I said, well, did you go inside? He's like, yeah. I was like, how crazy was it? He was like, he goes, honestly, son, it was scary. Like it was scary. And then he'd say, I'm done. Then the next year, 14, he'd do it again. He might have done it 3 years. I know he did it 2 years. Is that even a thing? Because I know in the early 2010s, that got really crazy where the stores would open up on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. So it is still a thing, but it's greatly reduced because of Cyber Monday. Like, you know, Cyber Monday is the shit now. But it is still a thing. You can still do that. And a lot of these stores open earlier and earlier. Like, I remember as a teenager, some of these stores, you had to wait till midnight. You had to wait until midnight. And that's when they would open their doors because it was technically that Friday now. I only went Black Friday shopping once, and it was with my friend and, my two friends, their mom, like their whole family, because their mom loved to go Black Friday shopping. I went one time, hated every second of it. It was a madhouse. And then I obviously have told the story before. I worked at Spencer's Gifts one year in the mall, and worked the 10 p.m. to 10 a.m.
Who the fuck's going to Spencer's on Black Friday?
Dude, actually, we made like $7,000 in sales that day, which was really good for Spencer's. But I
How
mean,
is it the company that makes no money buys the company that makes the most money?
No. It's the other way around. Like, Spencer's technically owns Spirit, but Spirit now keeps Spencer's afloat. Like, no,
I know, but
Spencer's would go out of business. They're just, it's a money.
I'm saying Spencer's, they bought Spirit in what, like 1997, 8, 9 or something?
Yep, it was in the 90s. I can't remember.
So Spencer's must at a certain point, Spencer's must have predated like all the FYEs and maybe not Suncoast, but like they were like that. They had to have been super popular at a certain point to be that profitable. But then again, maybe Spirit wasn't as worth that much at a certain point either. I don't know.
No, to start off with, Spirit was kind of like a crapshoot. They didn't know if it was really going to be a thing, because this might be crazy to some people, but like even me as a almost 31-year-old, I can tell you when I was 10, dude, Halloween was nowhere near as commercialized as it is now. Like it has grown exponentially in the last decade, I would say, decade plus. So like at the time, yeah, I'm sure Spencer's got it cheap. They're like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And now the roles are totally reversed. And if Spirit didn't exist, Spencer's would just fuck off into anonymity. Nobody would care anymore. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was honestly luck, because Spencer's is not a very well-oiled machine. I can tell you that through working there, and obviously Steve, the guy I've told you about, that's a zone manager for Spirit year round now. He was a store man. He was a GM of Spencer's for years and years and years before he went into Spirit. I mean, he would just tell me all the time. He's like, dude, all we do is lose money. Like the only thing that keeps the doors open is Spirit. We just lose money. Like, because you don't do a lot in sales. And what is probably the number one store that people steal from in the mall? Spencer's.
Really?
Easily.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. You got so many little trinkets. It's such a claustrophobic store most of the time, because it's long, but it's really narrow. And there's a bunch of walls up all over the place. You hide behind a wall, you grab a t-shirt, you grab this. Oh, yeah, dude. People are stealing shit all the time. Loss prevention there was, Spirit's the same way. Part of your bonus at the end of the season with Spirit is like you have to be under, don't quote me on this, guys, if one of you guys is a store manager there now, but I believe a couple years ago, I had to be under like 2.5% loss prevention by the end of the season to qualify for your bonus, because
how do you do that?
Well, there was one time I can tell you a story real quick about how a guy, I saw him just start walking out of the building while I was standing at the register, and he had it was like a Fortnite thing. He had like a Fortnite staff or some shit from Fortnite, and he just tried to walk out, and I walked right after him. And when he saw me come, he like put it up his shirt, and I stopped him in the parking lot. I was like, dude, I saw you do that. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, pull it out of your shirt. And he did, and he just threw it on the ground and ran. So like the way you prevent that really is like, you're supposed to have enough people on staff to where you can have people in specific zones just kind of walking around. Like, that's why if you go to Spirit, I don't know what your local Spirit's like, but like a lot of times they'll come up to you multiple times and be like, need help finding anything? Or like they'll make a comment about something you're looking at. That's their way of letting you know, I'm here, so don't steal anything. That's the idea.
What's worse, having to deal with theft or kids just making a fucking mess?
Well, I kind of bake that into it, that little kids are going to come in here, they're going to try on masks, like they're going to make a mess. That doesn't really bother me, because like I'm kind of jealous. Like I remember being a little kid and like going to those places, and it was like another world, dude. Like I loved it so much. It's the theft. It's the theft. There's been multiple times. One time I actually got like face to face with somebody, and Steve actually had to scold me, and he was like, I appreciate that you got the product back, but like once they walk out of the building, like technically you're not protected by Spirit anymore. So like if you and this guy would have gotten into a fight in the parking lot, like, like you're on your own essentially. And I'm like, that's really stupid. Like, and I get it. Corporate America's like, we don't give a shit. Let them take the $40 worth of stuff. We'll eat the $40. But like, I don't know. It's my principles, I guess. Like, don't steal. It's stupid. But it's the theft. It's definitely the theft. And Christian, I want to ask you, where do you think most theft occurs at a Spirit Halloween?
You mean like what department?
Yes, but also, like a specific area of the store.
It'd be funny if you say it's actually that little section right in front of the cash register where all that little cheap shit is and all the mugs and stuff.
The impulse.
Yeah.
The impulse is definitely one of them, believe it or not, because when it's busier, there's a lot of people in line and you can kind of just grab a little trinket here and there. But no, it is the dressing rooms, which is why a lot of Spirits post-COVID, at least in my area, have kind of moved away from the dressing rooms, because people would go into the dressing rooms.
I don't see those anymore. I don't even see them in my Spirits anymore.
Exactly, because that's where all the theft was taking place. People were before they went back into the room, they would put shit into the bag. Then they'd go into the dressing room, take the stuff out of the costume bag, put it in their purse or whatever. Yep, that's where the theft was happening. And there's no way to, I mean, you can't do anything about that. You're like, I need to stand here while you get butt ass naked, like just to make sure you don't steal anything. Like,
yeah, that's fucked up.
yeah.
But how crazy is it to think that Spirit is so successful in a seasonal term where I think they probably make 75, 80%, maybe even 90% of their yearly money in a 3-month span. And it's so successful, it can literally just pay for year-round Spencer's employees and mall rent, which is probably getting worse now because nobody wants to be in malls anymore. So they got to make up more money if it's like a mall owned by one or two people. I don't know how that means that Spirit has to be so massively successful it's not even funny.
Yeah, you also got to think about like it's, you know, Spencer's is probably taking a hit too. I'm sure those tariffs on those dildos are probably insane. Like, you know, like,
you know, it's funny, dude. Like the one thing I will say is I tell people if you're looking for something like those VHSs that have the little trinkets and stuff in them that they're doing now, I'm like, listen, if you don't see it at Spirit, go to Spencer's. If you go to Spencer's, they're starting to stock a lot of their Spirit shit there. And you'd be surprised. They got what's up with this weird baby thing that people are into? These goddamn, they got Terrifier, Michael. They're these fucking babies. I see.
They have a Chucky one, dude.
I'll buy some weird shit, but the baby thing is weird to me. Who's buying them damn babies?
Oh, listen, my son doesn't even like them. Like
they're weird, right?
He like, I tried to show him the Chucky one and he's just like, I don't really care. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really care either. So like, who's the target demographic for this? And then when I asked that question, I'm like, I feel like I almost don't want to know the answer to that now. Like there's something that just doesn't seem right about that. I don't see that being something that lasts very long. I mean, dude, if you're going to Spirit, you want to get stuff that looks like the licensed thing that you're, you know, going after. You want to get something that looks like Art the Clown, not that looks like Art the Clown when he was 4 years old. Like where is the joy in that for me? That's no different than this. When you get a Myers mask, you're not trying to get like a fucking Rasta mask. Like,
dude, that was the dude, look at that bald pattern on that thing.
No, dude, the craziest thing about this is I had this right next to me because after the intro played, I was going to start the video with the mask on. I was just going to have it on my head, and I totally forgot. But yeah,
That's
dude,
funny.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, Spencer's, I can tell you just from my experience there, I worked at the one at the Eastgate, or no, Kenwood Mall. And I mean, I think we did like 400,000 to 500,000 a year. And some people might be like, oh, well, that's not bad. The Spirit, the most recent Spirit I was a store manager of that was open for like 9 weeks, did 325,000 in 9 weeks. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And Spirit has multiple $1 million plus locations, multiple stores in the United States that do over $1 million in 2 months. So like Spencer's ain't shit. Like it's nothing.
That's wild to me.
Yeah. Steve actually told me he wouldn't be surprised if in a few years Spencer's just starts to largely go the way of just entirely Spirit. Like they'll leave like a flagship Spencer's, maybe a handful that still do well, but a lot of them will just close.
Well, you know what's funny is, you know, in Shreveport, they actually opened up I don't know what you call them. They're not outlet malls, but like those strips, like those shopping strips where it's like you got a big department store and then it's like a Target. Then
We
like
call
a
them outlet
Burlington
malls. Yeah.
Okay, well, fair enough. It's like a Target, TJ Maxx, Best Buy, stuff like that. Well, on that, they actually put in a Spencer's store, and it's actually like a really big, nice one where they have a massive T-shirt wall, and they got like 1,000 lava lamps, all kinds of purses. They got like 2 giant walls of throw blankets now. And in the middle of the store, it's nothing but like Spirit merch that they just keep up all year round. And they have a huge wall of them stupid babies. They got the little mini animatronic guys. So I don't know. Every time I see that when there's people in it, I'll go in every now and again, but it's hard. Like I gotta almost make myself buy stuff from there because it's just like I don't really need or want anything from there. You know,
Well,
maybe I think I got a blanket from them like back in May, but
I,
I don't know,
I
dude. I
went,
do see people in there.
yeah, I went with an ex-girlfriend when I was like 20. We bought like the edible underwear and shit. Like we were like, oh,
Well, I remember that.
let's buy some of this stuff. By the way, that stuff tastes like shit.
You're
Absolute
right.
garbage.
We made one of my friends buy it, and we were in marching band, and we were we were on a bus going to play a game, and we stopped at the mall to eat because it was like a 3-hour ride, and like the easiest place to let all these kids eat was at the mall. And we made our buddy Jonathan go buy the edible undies, and he was eating it on the bus, and he was just like, "It's like sweet tarts, but there's no flavor."
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
he's just forced himself to eat it. It
Oh
was
yeah.
disgusting.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. And so yeah, I did buy a bag of dicks there because I always thought that was funny. A gummy bag of dicks. And I gave it to my buddy. I think I gave it to my buddy Dave. This was like years ago because we used to always say, I mean, you remember the saying, eat a bag of dicks. Like, so I bought a bag of dicks and I was like, eat a bag of dicks. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's crazy. Spirit really has kind of taken over the world. And I don't know if they have plans to try that Christmas thing again this year. I'll actually have to
I was
Google
just about to
that.
ask you. I'm praying
Yeah.
they do, but you know what's so funny? I saw video footage of one last year, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to see if they got like some cool like peanut stuff, or maybe they got some
Yes,
vintage Santa blow molds.
Christian.
And
They
then I
are
saw it was a bunch of Michael Myers Christmas wreaths. I was like, what the fuck?
yes.
Spirit of Christmas.
They're opening. They're doubling what they had last year.
Oh,
They
I
are
still feel like I
doubling.
won't get lucky, but maybe I will. I don't know.
So there's gonna be. Wait, what? There's gonna be 2 in Ohio, and 1 in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, there's a map registry.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna look on the map right now. See if they.
Yeah,
Ooh,
check Louisiana.
Fuck no, Christian. No, the closest one to you is going to be
Dallas.
Tennessee, buddy. This is
Oh.
the map for this year. It is literally all East Coast. If you can see that.
I guess you said doubled, so I guess I can't.
Well,
be
yeah,
too
they were like
upset.
13 last year. This year it's 30. So, but it makes sense because their flagship store is in New Jersey, the East Coast. So they're probably, but this is a good sign. This means that they did well enough last year to where they're like, okay, we're going to double down on it. And then if it does well again this year, I'm sure they'll get them more toward the South. And 5 years from now, we're going to be doing an episode of Uneeda where it's going to be like, hey now, everybody. So we just both went to Spirit of Christmas. What'd you get, Christian? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
at this rate, it sounds like it's going to be something that relatively soon, dude, Spirit's just going to cannibalize the market. Party City went out of business. Halloween City years ago. Halloween Express years ago. Spirit is literally cannibalizing the industry.
Halloween Express. Who owned them?
I don't know if I could. I honestly don't know. They might have been their own entity. Let me look. But yeah, there's going to be 2 in Ohio, but the closest one is going to be up near Cleveland. That's like 3 hours from me.
The last time I went to
Oriental Trading Company owned Halloween Express.
Oh. Dude, I wish I would have savored it more. The last time I went to Halloween City was, I know that me and Sydney, we went to Shreveport and I went to Best Buy before the movie and I bought Army of Darkness. I remember that. And then we were going to see Terrifier 2 in theaters. That I remember that too. So that had to have been 2022. Yeah, I remember going to see that, and it was awesome. The Halloween City was like it was inside of like a Pier 1 that closed down, and it was all they had all kinds of cool shit there, and I was just like, oh, this place is all right, but Spirit's the real deal. What I wouldn't give to be in a Halloween City again.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, man. Look, it is a Halloween Express sucked. It was awful.
I don't even know if I might have been in one before, but God, if I couldn't tell you.
Dude, all their stuff was cheaper than hell. It was awful.
That sounds good right about now.
Yeah, Halloween City ruled. Like, I actually really did like Halloween City. I feel like
They
Halloween
had Trick or
City,
Treat Studios masks and stuff too. Yeah,
yeah, they were
Halloween
the
City did.
only ones that I would say actually kind of came close to the quality that you get from Spirit. But dude,
Yeah.
Halloween Express was garbage. Like,
Yeah, and Halloween City would have like the thing about Halloween City, it would have little weird things too, like that you would not find at Spirit Halloween, like almost weird tchotchke versions of like I remember getting a lawn Freddy gnome
mhm,
at Halloween City, and I still have it. It's in there. It's like a lawn gnome, but it's made out. It's plastic, and he's got short little stubby hands, and it's like you'd never see that. You'd never see that at Spirit Halloween. God, I miss
yeah.
Halloween City.
Yeah, well, I'm looking here now, and it actually says, I guess, somehow, some way, Halloween Express is still open. Like it's still a thing, but
No shit.
that's news to me. Yeah, because it said last year they celebrated their 10th and there's no way just 10th anniversary. Halloween Express was around when I was like 16. I don't know about that, but I guess they're still a thing, which is I mean just literally shocking to me. Like I don't understand that at all. But okay, so if you guys have any Halloween Expresses near you, check it out. Halloween City though is dead because they were owned by Party City, and Party City is obviously dead now. Which I don't know, man. I gotta admit, Party City really fell off. Did you go in one in the last couple years?
I did. I honestly loved mine. We had a big, big, big one. Ours was massive. And it was in a fairly new development area. It was right next to a Dick's Sporting Goods that had been put in at like 2016, and they actually built this strip center on the other side where the Target was, and it was really nice on the inside. Um, but to be fair, they were just kind of putting out the shit that just was not selling year in after year. So it'd be a lot of the same stuff. There'd be a few new things, but for the most part, you know, I guess they would put a lot of the same shit out. And then some stuff that I thought they were supposed to get, like some people would say, hey, there's going to be the Silver Shamrock masks. They're going to have those at Party City. I'd have to ask about it, and they'd say, well, I don't think we have it. Then one girl would go in the back and find it. She goes, yeah, this. And like they wouldn't even put some of the shit out. So, but
That's where I got the Freddy beanie. Was Party City.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
don't know. They had some cool
They
beanies
had
and
some
stuff.
cool clothes. Yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
got this. It's funny because I got compliments on it last year. They closed ours in around April, which was fucked up. If you remember, I remember it was huge on TikTok. Some employee actually shared the conference call. They told everybody they're shutting, they didn't fire everybody, but they told everybody, oh yeah, we're out of business. It was like a week before Christmas or something. Like where they announced that the company was folding, you know? And I remember Sydney was like, "Well, if we're gonna go, we may as well go and just see what they got." And I got they put everything out on the floor, and because they were just liquidating everything. And Sydney's weird. She was like, "We should ask him if we could buy those old vintage shopping carts, the ones that you hold, like the
Yeah.
little." And so I'm looking at it. We got one from Party City up there. We have two of them. We have another one somewhere, but like we
They
got
actually
that.
like ring them up. Like,
Yeah, they just said we'll give it to you for $5.
huh.
Like I doubt you can see it if I turn my camera around. You see, that's actually a Spirit one up there,
Oh
and then
yeah.
to
Yeah.
the gray one next to it, that's a Party City one. So I got a old Spirit one, and I got a Party City one.
Hey, shit. I mean,
You know,
yeah, I don't know, man. It's just yeah, long story short, Spirit's cannibalizing the market. And
yeah.
it's
Dude,
that's a,
they shut down Joanne too. They were underrated for Halloween stuff. Sydney loved Joanne, that fabric place. But dude,
yep.
what I don't get is like some company bought Joanne and dumped their debt onto the company so they could bankrupt it and shut them all down. What the fuck?
That
Like, yeah, I don't know why they did that. It's just
That sounds like
stupid.
corporate America. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
It's getting worse out there. I mean, dude, like I can't believe how much different everything was just 3, 4 years ago. Like 2022, I could go to Best Buy. I would be like, all right, I gotta be up at midnight so I can pre-order that steelbook. They're only gonna get 2 in stock. I gotta buy it that way nobody can ring it up, and I could go pick it up and I can do that. Oh, I can go to Target because they have an alternate slipcover for this movie. I want to get their version of it. Oh yeah, it's Halloween time. I can go to Halloween City. I can do this, and I can go to Spirit, blah blah blah, or I can go to Party City because blah blah blah. They put their stuff out early, and now it's dude, it's Spirit Halloween.
yep.
Like it's getting like I wonder what it's gonna be like 5 years from now. It's like
Um,
now
it's
everybody's
not even
buying
gonna
their
be called.
movies online anyway.
It's not even gonna be called Spirit Halloween anymore 5 years from now. It's literally just gonna be called Spirit, and they're just gonna keep the building there and change it over to the Christmas stuff. And then after Christmas, they're gonna change it over to the Valentine's Day. And then you're gonna have Spirit back to school, and you're gonna have Spirit 4th of July, and you're gonna like Spirit's gonna get rid of everything. Walmart, you name it, all done. Like
Spirit groceries.
yeah, yeah, you're gonna go to Spirit to get a gallon of milk. Like it's just gonna. I
Oh,
mean,
that's funny.
they seem to be the one business that is consistently doing well. Although I was talking to Steve a couple weeks ago, and he told me what you had said. I asked him about it. I was like, yeah, my buddy said that he talked to someone about how like you guys are struggling with like getting some product out this year because of the tariff situation. He was like, yeah, it's making things like a headache. Like it's not, it's a pain in the ass. And I was like, yeah, I can imagine so. I mean, he said that there were some stores that were never going to be 100% stocked this year. He was like, there's some locations we have that are just not going to be able to, like, they're not going to be able to fill themselves up. The best way they're going to be able to try to is like with backstock from previous years.
Yeah.
That sucks, man, because one of the coolest things about going to Spirit is every year when the new one when it opens again, you're like, what's the new shit they've got that's not online? And I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty safe to say this year I noticed the fewest amount of like new licensed merchandise probably ever.
Probably so. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the different licenses, I mean, Terrifier, yeah, but obviously it's a brand new property. There's no problem with that. Freddy is it's beyond sad. I mean, it's a miracle those movies came out this year, but like the Freddy section, I dare anybody to go look at it. It's embarrassing. There's you can get fake fingernails, a keychain, a bullshit mask, a plastic glove. That's it. Like, dude, if they did one of those, they do those statues like in the middle of the store where all the stuff is that
Yeah.
a lot of people like us like to buy. If they did a Freddy like that, are you kidding me? It would be they would sell so astronomically fast that wouldn't even be funny.
I'm actually
So fast, but
gonna look a Freddy Krueger animatronic.
I have one of them.
So Spirit Halloween did have Freddy animatronics. I knew they did because I remember one when I worked there. They had one in 2005. They had one
I
in
have that one.
2010 to coincide with the remake.
Yeah.
And then they had the door knocker in 13, 14, and 15. But I remember the 2010 one. The 2010 one, I was 16. Yeah, that was my second year at Spirit. I remember it. That's why when you were talking about that, I was like, I think we had one year. And we did. Yeah.
Yep.
But no, I remember seeing John Squires. He tweeted about it today from Bloody Disgusting. He was just like, it's
sad.
really sad. Like, it's just like, what did he say? There's an entire generation right now that doesn't even know who Freddy Krueger is. And that's true, man. And it's the same way with Jason Voorhees. There's more licensed stuff at Spirit and stuff, but the younger generation largely has no idea who that character is. Like, that sucks. That really sucks because, like, certain characters when we were growing up, and even with our kids, like, and their kids, it's going to be the same way. every generation still knows about like Frankenstein's monster and the Mummy and stuff. Like you're always, those things are timeless. Like every generation is going to know about an iteration of that, or Dracula. But like this youngest generation right now, I don't know who the fuck Freddy and Jason are. like who? They know about Michael Myers, but I mean, that's because of that trilogy, which was largely helped by the fact that Jamie Lee was involved. I mean, let's be real, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of disappointing. It's not kind of disappointing. It's really disappointing.
Just, yeah.
But we could reminisce and tell you guys for the longest time, give you examples of us being old fogies to some of you. But before we get into the main topic for today, which we did get a comment on the last episode that said the show gets started about an hour in. Nice. And it was a little tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of. I was like, that's kind of Uneeda. Like if you've been around for years, if you haven't, you don't. But so before we get into the main topic, one last thing I want to talk to you about is obviously I watched your video and we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but overall, you're happy with this Nightmare 4K set, right?
I mean, so far, yeah, I think the best looking one so far is 2. And I'm not just saying that; it just looks absolutely fucking amazing. But yeah, they look phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I can't complain. It just now I want to see, God, I want to see those. If this is as great as this is now, it makes me want to be able to see those later Fridays in super high definition. But these films really do look, they needed to be on 4K. They're just so gorgeous to look at. And 2 just feels like this gigantic film. It just feels gigantic. I got no words.
I've got
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Continue. I didn't know.
I was just I feel bad for some people because, I got both of my sets, which some people are like, why'd you buy both of them? I was like, hello. But I feel bad because a lot of people still it's been a nightmare, no pun intended, with the shipping and the warehouses getting them and what's going on. Some people that ordered that Steelbook collection, some of them haven't even gotten shipping yet.
I saw some people saying that they're getting messages from Amazon, do you still want this product? And they're having to confirm that they want it.
Yeah, like it's a nightmare. And then other people, they still even got the standard set. Some people are still waiting on that. So
yep.
I don't know, man.
Which, by the way, I got the standard set. I wanted that Steelbook set so bad, but did not have the money at the time because to pre-order that, I would have had to pay up front. And obviously, y'all know the last 6 months or so of my life, it was I was up against it. So I pre-ordered the standard set because I knew Amazon wouldn't charge me till it shipped. And I don't want to poo-poo on that standard set. I did say in my video, the Steelbook obviously is the way to go. And anybody that got that, that's incredible. Like,
I like the standard set too, though, dude. Like, I really like the I love the red case. Is a nice touch.
Yes, and it's still the same movies. That's the most important thing to anybody that's like, oh shit, I couldn't get the Steelbook set. You're still getting to see these movies in the best presentation, audio video presentation they've ever been in.
Oh yeah.
Christian mentioned Freddy's Revenge, which does look great. I only watched a few minutes of each one because Christian and I have talked about this before. I really can't stand when people will review, quote unquote, a new physical release and they haven't even looked at it. They haven't watched it. They haven't looked at the special features. They're literally just like, look, I got this. Okay. Like, no. So I popped in each one for a couple minutes and Freddy's Revenge looks great. And you specifically were like, dude, the scene with the bus. That's what I noticed too. I was like, holy shit, the depth.
The definition of that bus from far away. It's remarkable.
But I was really surprised with how well the Dream Master looked too. I was really happy with how good 4 looked.
Yeah. I watched that one earlier today because I'm doing 2 at a time. And 4, I even think I said on my 2 and 3 review, I'm like, I'm kind of anticipating 4 looking the best because it's so bright. It's such a bright movie. There's a lot of sunlight. And obviously film can shine its best when you can't replicate sunlight. It's just so great. Your cameras don't allow as much light in, and that definition is just even higher and higher. And it looked phenomenal. But that's what's so great about 2 is Jack didn't make a dark, like 3 is such a, I was talking to a couple people that saw 3 at Alamo Draft House because they debuted these restorations at the movie theater over the last month.
Mhm.
And I had like 5 or 6 people that saw these movies. A lot of them came to me and said, "Dude, 3 looks great, but man, it's a dark movie." And I was like, "Really?" But like, I remember after they said that, I put on my Blu-ray and I was like, "I think it just is a dark movie."
Mhm.
Even in the bright scenes, like it's just the movie is dark. The hospital is gloomy. It's got just these dark bluish gray tones to it.
Muted. It's muted throughout. The colors are muted
Yeah.
throughout that entire movie. Whereas, like you said, yeah, the Dream Master, really colorful movie. The
It's
colors
such
just
a bright
pop.
movie, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, 2 and I think 2 and 4. I'm still gonna give the edge to 2, but 2 and 4 are phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. I had some people tell me that 6, Freddy's Dead, their jaw hit the floor with how good it looked. So
I was
I don't know,
surprised. I can't lie. I mean, I don't like that movie. You guys know that. But
but it's the
I
same
was,
principle as 4. It's
yeah.
Freddy's
Well, I
Dead.
mean, it's no different than Resurrection. You know, when those 4Ks came out, I was like, I got to give it to them. This looks really good. Like, it's just they did a really good job with that. I was even happy with the Echo Bridge Blu-ray for Resurrection. I mean, Echo Bridge's Blu-ray for H2O and 6 were shit, but like
Yeah.
it was actually decent for Resurrection. But yeah, dude. I mean, look, if you guys don't have it yet, I answered the question very simply in my video. Is it worth the money to get this set? Since I only had 2 complaints. One, I wanted more special features. I think a lot of people had that complaint. Some people don't really care, and that's fine. I like special features. I have since I was like 10 years
Dude,
old. So
same.
like, I want more of those. And you got some of those people back for some of this stuff, like Robert and Jack. Like, you could have done a commentary, but whatever. That's fine. And the other complaint I had was I really wish they would have had the remake on here, solely because one, I want to see a 4K restoration of it. I just think it would look good. Or it would make the shitty CGI stand out even more. But also, I don't know. It just feels incomplete to me because of that. But that's kind of a minor nitpick. But
I
yeah, it
think
was
yeah. I think
a
you'll
lot.
get
Well, a lot of
it.
people commented on my video and said Arrow Video is probably going to put it out.
Yeah, and it's not a secret and it's not an inside thing that I'm saying, but obviously a lot of people know that Arrow Video, Cliff is very proud of his new relationship he has with Warner. Um, it's not like he can handpick whatever he wants, but he gets the opportunity to pick titles. And, because New Line obviously hasn't put Freddy versus Jason in this. I kind of wish I wanted Freddy versus Jason in this just as much as the remake, quite
Is
frankly.
that
But
is that a rights issue? I would assume because that's 2 different properties. That's probably why it wasn't.
no, that's all New Line because New Line. I'm still under from what I understand, Warner New Line, they own Friday the 13th outright, except for the first 8 films, which is still Paramount. They have complete control of their movies.
What
Like
about the
nobody like
remake? Was the remake New Line?
so the remake is New Line in conjunction with Paramount because that was before Paramount hadn't lost their rights to the usage of the title, and because of some of the stuff involved with the mom and everything, what ended up happening was New Line was making the movie themselves, and then maybe 3 or 4 weeks into pre-production, actually, it might have been a little bit later than that, but because they had kind of already started that, they got sued by Paramount because they said, "Wait a minute, you can't call the movie this, you can't use this, blah blah blah." And so what ended up happening was they struck a deal. So if you look up the poster for the remake, you will see both the Paramount and the New Line logo on that. And the
Mhm.
deal that they had was Paramount got the dividends and the distribution of the film foreign, and New Line got it in America. So New Line did really well, I think, with the box office of the movie. But in terms of home video, if you'll notice, if you look up in America, you could buy a Paramount 8-movie collection of the Friday films, 1 through Jason Takes Manhattan. But if you get it from the UK, or it'll be 1 through 8 and the remake, because Paramount still has the rights to the remake. But from now, everything, the title, the use of the title, and the character of Jason are New Line. So no, it's not a matter of a license problem with Freddy versus Jason. I don't think that they feel that it's anybody cares about it for one reason or another. I don't know why. I think it's silly, but then again, it's also silly that it took this long to get all these movies on 4K anyway.
And you
So
would say it's the same. So you would say it's for both of them, then, right? Freddy versus Jason and the remake. They probably were like, well, people don't really care. So
yeah, and I think so. And I think so what'll happen is I think Arrow will probably get those 2 movies sometime. Maybe, for all I know, Cliff could have made a deal. The way these work, from what I understand, is like, let's say you want to buy the license to put out Freddy versus Jason, and you have to pay, and you're going to pay X for it. Well, Warner will say, the way this seems to work is, okay, you want Freddy versus Jason, you want to license out the remake to do releases. Okay, you can buy these 2 titles along with buying these other 20 titles. And a lot of times, Nick, what I've learned from talking to some people on the inside is Scream Factory will buy 6 or 7 titles they couldn't give a shit about, and don't even release or put out, but they have to buy it in order to get the bigger fish.
yeah.
So that's the way that stuff seems to work. But I mean, look at what they've done. They've done Texas 03, The Beginning, which they look phenomenal. I love those. They've done the remake for Friday the 13th, which was a stellar release. And they've done Jason Goes Straight to Hell and Jason X, which were, again, stellar releases. They did such a great job. So I think they're probably going to do Freddy. And a lot of people want to get them to do Freddy versus Jason so they could do like that split face artwork that they've done with the other ones. So
yeah.
And then with the remake too, I mean, they could do Jackie's kind of normal face on one side, and then Fred on the other side. So we'll see. I hope they do it, but my money says it's a safe bet to assume they're going to.
2026, if you had to guess.
Oh yeah, I do think it's right that maybe that New Line doesn't want any other kind of Elm Street related property coming out while their release comes out. So yeah, once the dust settles, that we probably will see Arrow put this out next year for sure.
Good, because I'll get them both, because I relatively enjoy both of those movies for different reasons. So I'd like to see 4Ks of both of them. But yeah, so at the end of the day, the question that in my opinion, was, is the presentation of these movies worth the price? Yes, it absolutely is.
Fuck yes. It's the only one that's ever been worth the price, quite frankly.
Yes. It puts the Blu-ray set to shame. It obviously, the DVD set, the old school one, the one that's actually a collector's item, like, that's still worth money and you should still keep that. But you should buy this set if you want the movies to look the way that you've always envisioned they could. Yeah.
Plus 5's uncut. So, I mean, I know some people say, yeah, well, guess what? It's a minute longer. Well, yeah, it is a minute longer, but some of the greatest special effects scenes of all time are in 5.
No, and it's even deeper than that, man. I'm going to make the argument. I've said that it makes 5 a better movie. Does it take it from is it 2 letter grades? No. But one of the biggest things that pissed me off about that uncut footage not being present in the theatrical release of that movie is there's so much symbolism and subtext throughout the Dream Child. They tackle some really topical shit, like, and whether that's choice or alcoholism. I mean, whatever it is, but specifically with the character of Greta, with her overbearing mom putting these expectations on her and basically pushing her to be somebody that she wants her to be, trying to live vicariously through her daughter in a very toxic way. And of course, Greta is like, it's even topical today, where it's like, I have to keep this figure, I can't eat this, like, body shaming and stuff like that. The kill in the uncut version of that kill really drives that home, because it's so symbolic. He's feeding her herself, but like, In the theatrical cut, you can't see that. You don't, it's kind of like you could deduce that, like, oh, where's he grabbing this from? But like in the uncut, no, you can see he is feeding Greta like her own self, which is just like I don't know, dude. It really adds a layer there that I think is like necessary.
I totally agree. I mean, I love the film. I really do. I think out of the three, it's the best made one. There's an argument that I won't excuse me, I won't argue anybody. Like I'm sure you will say, well, Christian, Halloween 5 is my favorite, and that's what I'm reference to, the best out of the three slasher.
Okay,
I understand liking Halloween 5 more, totally get it, but I think the best made one out of the three and the most ambitious is hands down. It's Nightmare 5. I mean, the visual stuff that they did is just like, and they did it how fast? It's, people always, this is the problem I have. People always will say, oh, dude, but Child's Play 3, they made that really fast. And they'll excuse it, but they shit on 5. When I think 5 had as quick of a turnaround. And let's be real, making a Child's Play film is way easier than making a Nightmare film. Nobody would argue that. Nobody would argue that making a Child's Play film is going to be easier than a Nightmare film. So I don't know. I'd like to change the dialogue on 5 a little bit. I'm not saying people need to call it a masterpiece and say that's great, but I mean, let's just be a little consistent. That's all I'm asking.
I made a video like 2 months ago on it about how it's. I can't remember what the title of the video was, but basically the premise of the video is it's a lot better than people give it credit for. And if they just had 3 more months to like really perfect that third act and tighten up some of the messaging that they were going for in the script, dude, you could have made a case that The Dream Child could have been like the best sequel. Like I'm dead serious. Like the bones of that are all there, dude. And like,
oh yeah,
all of those messages in that movie, like, I don't know, dude. It's topical shit. It's still topical in 2025, and sadly, and there's just a lot of really good stuff. And I really think that Lisa Wilcox, she's fine in 4, but you don't really get enough of her till the end of 4. And even then it's so, but 5, she is really good, like really good in The Dream Child. Man, like that. I think that performance, tell me if I'm wrong, your opinion, you're a Nightmare guy. I think that Lisa in part 5 is the best final girl performance in the franchise. I know a lot of people.
I'm going to agree, but I'm going to disagree. The best
final
girl performance is Mark Patton.
Yeah, Jessie, but that's why I said girl. I specified girl because I think Jessie is the best final character, period. But if it's specifically of the women in the franchise, I think she's the best in 5.
Oh, yeah. Hands down. I mean, and that's not to knock Heather. I like Heather in New Nightmare way more than 1.
She's
but
fine
I think,
in Dream Warriors.
Yeah, Lisa has a lot to go through with being pregnant, and she loses all of her friends in the first movie. She has to come out of her social. Like she gets to mix a lot of, over the top stuff that somebody has to deal with, along with stuff that people could relate to watching it. Being introverted, coming out of your shell, getting over your fear of talking to somebody that you're attracted to, and putting yourself in a position to
repairing her relationship with her dad.
Yeah, so there's stuff things. They're able to mix, and I love her as a blonde in 5 too, but they're able to mix, real life situations that people deal with along with the element of Freddy. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like I think I wouldn't say 5 is underrated by any stretch. I think everybody's at least seen it, but I don't know. It's just one of those movies that, I'll see people defend Jason Takes Manhattan and Child's Play 3 for kind of similar reasons. I'm just like, well, why is 5 for Nightmare different? It's like, dude, they all had to pound cocaine to get that movie done.
I think that 5 goes over a lot of people's heads, man. I really do. I think that when you look at it through the lens, I hate to bring it back to Halloween. We're about to get to Halloween, so this might be a perfect segue, but kind of like Rob Zombie's Halloween too. Like, I think that if you're not viewing it through the right lens, I don't think you're actually going to get the experience the movie is trying to take you on. And I think that's important with any movie. Like, you're right to say what you say, like, objectively, of the fives, but The Dream Child has a way better story, way more to say. It explores way more deep themes. It has, I mean, like, yes, all of that is, the meat is there for that one. But I feel like if it goes over your head, or maybe you don't agree with some of the messaging in the movie, the movie's not gonna jive with you. And it's like the
Right.
same way with Halloween 2. When people look at Halloween 2 and they're like, oh my God, Scout's insufferable and everybody in the movie is so angry and they're always yelling and cussing. And I'm like, you're not looking at it through the right lens, bro. That movie is an exploration of PTSD and trauma. Like, when you look at it through that lens, it's a nihilistic movie intentionally. Like, that's the point. And I think we inherently as people want to watch these movies sometimes and be like, yeah, but I want a happy ending. I want my character to be okay. It's like, that doesn't always happen though. And so you got to really go with what the movie's trying to sell you on. And if you're not going to, then I don't think you're ever going to appreciate a movie. I mean, I think I've changed more minds on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 than probably anybody in this world, Christian. I'm dead serious.
I believe you.
I have gotten so many comments over the years like, dude, you were the one that made me start to view this movie differently. And like, now I really like it when you explain like what this means and why they did this. And I'm like, I'm not asking y'all to say it's the greatest movie ever made, although I will die on a hill. I'm not going to say Halloween 5 is a masterpiece. I'm not that biased. I love it. It's a personal masterpiece. I will say Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is a feat of cinema. Like, I don't give a shit what anybody says. So y'all can fight me on that one. But anyway, Christian, here we are. About an hour in again. So hey, we're right on schedule. But
Right on schedule.
As Christian and I just said, to wrap that up, yes, get the Nightmare set. Whether it's a standard, whether you want to buy the steelbook that somebody's reselling for $400 or $500 because these bastards just buy it and use it as an investment opportunity, get it.
I think at this very moment, the UK version still has some available at Amazon.com, Amazon.uk or whatever. So just go check. That's all I can tell you is go check there.
The steelbook set?
Yeah, but they're more money because they come with Blu-rays because UK's physical media is stronger over there. So I think they included them. There's nothing special about them. They're not new restorations on there or anything.
So, what are we talking price-wise? Wasn't the price point for the US one like $230?
It was $167, I think, is what the total was. Which really isn't. Don't get me wrong. It's
Wait, that's the UK one?
No, that was a US one. It was like $167. So if you buy the UK one, you're gonna be paying close to $300 with the Blu-rays and stuff it comes with.
Hit me up in about 2.5 weeks when we get our next YouTube payment, maybe. But yeah.
I was very lucky to get the US one, man. I happened to be up at midnight.
Yeah, there was no way you were not going to be up though. Like, I don't blame, dude.
No, but it was complete happenstance because I was actually recording a video with somebody. I think it was Garrett, and Garrett can talk, so we were recording, and he also we got done recording just a fun little. I think it was like just a fun little DVD collection thing, and we were just talking, and then he said something after we were just shooting the shit, and then he was like, "Oh shit, check Amazon," and I'm usually in bed by then. And I think we had actually rescheduled too, so I wasn't supposed. But the thing is, dude, it was sold out at like 5 a.m. That's how fast it sold. And then it came back for like an hour, and then again after that, it was gone. So way less. It was available for about. I would say it was available for about.
I was awake. I'm always up till like 2. That was my thing. If somebody, I mean, I'm obviously not as, plugged in to that, the physical media world, but like, man, if somebody would have like warned me, I would have pre-ordered it. Cause I was like, they don't charge you till it ships. It's like, I got a month or 2 to figure out. I mean, and that it worked out perfectly with the Amazon one for the standard set because we had just gotten our YouTube payment. So like I got that YouTube payment. And then like 2 days later, they charged me because they were shipping. So I was like, cool, like this works. Like I don't have to be like, oh shit, do I
You're
have?
fine, dude. I told people in
I'm
my
not
video,
though. I'm
you know,
not though. I'm pissed that I don't have that steelbook set. It is
I know,
fucking
but
awesome.
the number one thing though is you got the movies and you supported it, and you know, this will hopefully show Paramount like, hey, you know, we should probably just go ahead and put our box set out for our 8 films because it'll probably sell like bananas if they do
Oh
it. And
my
maybe,
god,
hey, maybe Paramount will do the same thing. Maybe they'll do a box set.
dude,
Imagine a
Christian.
steel box for Paramount, and it's wood, and it's a Camp Crystal Lake
Oh my
steel
god.
box set. That'd be amazing.
Don't get me started. Yeah, and I, dude, I want a Hellraiser one so bad. I want a
Dude,
Hellraiser
yeah,
set.
listen, you have to stop about Hellraiser. Nobody wants Hellseeker, and nobody wants
Doesn't
Deader in
matter.
4K.
Everybody wants the first four. Everybody wants the first four, and those other ones just they get
But
thrown in
think
there
Arrow
too.
already did that. Arrow already he already got that.
I know,
So
but
be
I'm
happy with
saying
that.
I'm happy with that set. I love the Quartet of Torment. Like that thing is gorgeous. That's one of my favorite sets I own. Like period. I having the work print of Bloodline, like dude, it's just or
I just wish
yeah.
I wish it looked better, you know.
Oh yeah, it
But
looks like it. Yeah, but I mean, still though, like you give me a, I don't know because the Nightmare set I saw is just like the Halloween trilogy one for Blumhouse, where it's like foam in the
yeah,
interior that separates
right.
each one, and the case itself. I'm like, dude, I love that
It's
Halloween
nice.
trilogy one. Shout out to you,
Oh yeah.
Chris, for sending me that one. Like, dude, I want it. But yes, guys, buy it, buy the standard, buy the UK one, but whatever, it's your money. But if I can give you my advice and if Christian can give you his advice on how to spend your money, buy the Nightmare movies on 4K. What are you doing? Like I know half of you guys probably bought Megan 2.0 on 4K. Like, come on, you
I didn't get
buy. No,
that.
absolutely
Dude,
not.
I had to put my foot down. Like, I'm not interested in that movie. I have to vote with my dollar. Like, I'm not seeing it. I'm not interested. The trailer just made me say it. Like, after I thought it was funny at first, and then I was like, you know what? No, I could just tell. I know I will regret watching this. And I
Yeah,
haven't heard
no,
anybody say it was great. I
no,
heard enough people say like, dude, they made a kung fu movie or some shit. I'm just like, I'm out.
yeah. Well, and
I'm out.
it flopped, and rightfully so. Don't.
I think Jason Blum was even like, yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah. No, Jason Blum. I'll give we talked about this a couple months ago, but I give Jason immense credit for that for eating the shit on that dude. Just being like, yeah, we dropped the ball.
He's like,
But anyway, all right. So here we are, an hour in, and it's time to talk about the topic for the last hour of this episode, and that is we wanted to do something Halloween centric here because it's October, duh, and my channel has been the last 2 months, it's been like, oh, Halloween. Until recently, I've been doing different uploads, guys. I'm a completionist. So like I had to finish some of those series that I was working on. I couldn't just stop. Like I was like, well, no, I still haven't done this movie and this movie, but we got to talk about Halloween. And it's what I know best. And Christian's a Nightmare guy, but he knows Halloween as well as I do, if not more so, even if he pretends like sometimes he doesn't. So he's a part of that Halloween fan base, whether he wants to be or not. That being the case, Christian and I were talking the other day, and he was like, we could do like an episode on Curse, with the anniversary. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And then you said that, and then I got to thinking, dude, and I was like, 30 fucking years.
1995 is not 30 years ago. That's crazy.
30 years ago. Now, we were both alive when Curse was the first Halloween movie to come out in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
And we didn't see it at that time. But so, like, that puts into perspective how old we're getting. Because it's like, oh, I was born before that movie came out. And that movie just turned 30. How you feeling about that?
I'm not. At least I get to say that I was born and I was alive when Donald Pleasance made a Halloween film. That makes me feel good.
Yep.
I
was born before he died. We were born before Donald died. I got to live on the same earth as Donald Pleasance.
I actually love him so much in this movie because it's weird how his age actually really did match the temperament of what his character should have been like. Like, he has been through so much shit. Like, that's the way you go. That's the way, a natural way that somebody would evolve emotionally, the way Donald Pleasance did through these movies. Even though his character is a little bit hammer and a little over the top, especially in the, the first 4, but by 5, after he's gone through everything, he's happy to be alive.
Yeah.
He's retired, he's laughing at the jokes on the radio, and I don't know, dude, him in 6, I swear to God, dude, I think my favorite Loomis performance is 4, but after that, I think it's got to be 6. I love how, he's just dealt with it by this point. So like it's like he's happy to be alive to a certain extent. I just love that when you first see him in the film, he's like, I'm not dead yet. It's like, the radio guy's joking that he died, or somebody called me. He goes, did he die?
Yeah.
So
like,
God, I love him.
Just very much retired. Yeah.
I fucking love him in this movie so much, man.
Doesn't it also kind of feel like at multiple points throughout this movie that it almost seemed like Donald knew this was going to be the last go around? Like, I think there's a couple moments in the movie where I think that through his performance, like you're like, I think Donald knew. Like, I think so. Especially that final shot, which look, the theatrical cut is better than the producer's cut, in my opinion, because I think it's more of a slasher movie. I appreciate what the producer's cut was trying to do, and you do get more Loomis in that cut. But if nothing else, the ending of the theatrical sends it over the edge for me. That is such a better send-off for Dr. Loomis than the producer's cut. Like, to have him say the last line is, Dr. Loomis, I have some business I have to attend to here. And then he's just standing there looking off as the camera zooms out. Like, there's just something about that that's just like really, like, it's almost like he was saying bye to us. You know what I mean? Like, every time I watch it, I'm just like, it's almost like he's taking this moment in, like, knowing like, hey, this is it for me. I don't know, man. I agree though. A lot of people are like, I've seen reviewers, and by the way, if you're one of these YouTube reviewers that does this type of shit where you're like, Halloween 6 too, like Loomis, like Donald Pleasance is on his deathbed, like his character had no purpose of being there, because I have seen reviewers that have said these things, and I can give you names off air, Christian. Shut the fuck up. Like, and I mean that disrespectfully. Like, shut up. Like,
who doesn't love Donald, man?
It's
like, come on.
People complaining that he was too frail. His line deliveries were bad in the movie because he could barely speak. Like, all of this bullshit. I'm like, no. I don't agree with that. I think that everything that Donald does in this movie is good. I think his age and what he's been through, like you said, make perfect sense for why the character is written the way it is and why he performs the character the way he does. Like, if you have anything bad to say about Donald in 6, you can. I gotta choose my words anyway. Yeah,
I've really come back around on the theatrical cut, but I think the producer's cut's been out long enough now to where, it's not as hip and cool anymore. It was for a while. I mean, I remember when that Blu-ray set came out. I purposely I never got any of the bootleg DVDs or anything, because I kept, for some reason, just saying to myself, I want to watch this movie cohesively. I'd seen clips and snippets. I saw the silhouette of Michael as the Man in Black walking out, and seeing it out of context is trippy as fuck. But I've really
seeing it in context is trippy as fuck too.
Dude, it is fucking badass, though. It really is. It makes no goddamn sense, but it is fucking badass the way he stops, just kind of turns and walks out. It's like god damn, man. But yeah, I think poetically, knowing that Donald had passed, it is sad, but also it's like, we've talked about this a number of times. It's like, for me, there's always going to be one timeline, and it's not 118 kills. It's not 1, 2 H2O. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's always going to
Six
be
and
that's
six.
five, six. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I said 3, but I mean I'm not skipping it, But my point is 1 through 6 is always going to be my timeline, and I actually think, you know, there's something about that movie that I can't really put my finger on. One thing that we always talk about is how great the fall atmosphere is. And yeah, you're goddamn right. But I think what's even more special about that film is the fact that, and this never happens, this just never really happens. The fact that a major franchise character got a film made literally at the very heartbeat before a style died out is
Yes.
it's remarkable,
Yes.
because had this movie come out
2 years later, a
technically 2
year
years
later.
later, yeah, because I think Scream was the end of '96, that's why I say 2, but point
Yep.
being, same point. But the fact that this movie got made at the tail end of a era, because really, people talk about horror in the '90s. I mean, I really look at '80s horror as a progression up until '95, and the fact that
Yep.
Halloween 6, Halloween Curse My God happened to come out at this point, I think people really need to stop and think about that. I mean, that doesn't happen that often. And it's like, it's one thing to talk about New Nightmare. It's one thing to talk about Jason Goes Straight to Hell. But Michael's Curse came out, I mean, literally the heartbeat before the culture and the genre changed. And somehow that movie perfectly encapsulates that vibe of what things were like,
Yep.
just to a T. I mean, it's
Everything you're saying right now, this is me.
I'm about to bust.
Because I have
you get
said
what I'm
this.
saying, though, right? I mean,
I've said it for years and years, dude. Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers is the last Halloween film that has that classic feel, that classic look, that old school vibe.
yes.
Just 3 years later, when H2O came out, and I like H2O, it's a totally different movie in tone, in style, and Curse was that last hanger on. And it's almost kind of perfect that it's Donald's last movie too, because I know a lot of people have said over the years, well, the reason you feel that way is because it's the last one with Loomis. No, I don't think that's the only reason.
It's not that simple. It's not that simple.
It is the last one. Like, you watch 4, 5, and 6 back to back to back, it feels like a great trilogy. I mean, it really does. They have very similar vibes, aesthetics, tones, like styles, and just a year and a half after that, everything changed in horror. Everything. And Curse is that last hanger on. And dude, like, it's even like that poster too is so like,
it's iconic.
That's the last one that was like that, because the very next Halloween movie was, let's put all the actors' heads floating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the last classic. It's the last bastion of classic slasher horror. It's fucking Curse of Michael Myers, dude. Like, oh man, I don't even know.
To me, there's no doubt in my mind. I talked about the '89 films and how I thought that I think, for me, inarguably, that Nightmare 5 is the best out of the 3. But when it comes to the when it comes to the '90s slashers, I'll exclude Freddy's Dead, and I'll just say New Nightmare, because I'm talking about the heartbeat. New Nightmare, Jason Goes to Hell, and Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers. Hands down, to me, the best out of the 3 is Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers. And as much as I love New Nightmare and Jason Goes Straight to Hell feels so remarkably vintage. I love that about it. But Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers, it really is, I don't know, man. It's just a gift, the way that movie feels, because it's like when people that watch these or marathon these, they know what I'm talking about because you're looking at a timestamp of society, and you're looking at a timestamp of culture, and movie, like, what movies came out in 95 that you can really think of? Not even just in horror, but like that. It's like 95 is a weird year. You know, there are big movies, of course, from 95, but when I think, it's so funny. I think of Halloween 5 synonymously, Halloween 6 synonymously with the year 1995. You know, it's also a time where Brother Kane was a big man. And I like Brother Kane. Damon Johnson actually toured with Alice for a number of years. He's the singer of Brother Kane. And they put out 3 records. They put out a 93 record. They put out Seeds in 94. And then in 98, they put out, I think it's called Wish Pool. And they were, you know, moderately successful. They had a few big songs. Their first record, I forget the name of the record. It's from 93. It's fucking phenomenal. But they're a great band. And it just, you know.
Well, you're talking about that timestamp. And now you're talking about Brother Kane. And like, we could even go as far as like music too, because just a couple years later, when Creed broke onto the scene and was really big, and I mentioned Creed because obviously they had a song with H2O, music was different just 3 years later. Like,
yes,
Brother Kane, that and Full Shine On feels like an early 90s rock song. Like, it's the only way that I can put it. Whereas, you know, Creed and Nickelback and Three Doors Down and all these bands that were not long after that, that feels like early 2000s. Even if it came out in the late 90s, it just reminds me of the early 2000s. Whereas Brother Kane, that's early 90s, buddy. Like that's early 90s rock and roll. That's the only way I can put that.
Dude. And it's so funny. I remember hearing that song for the first time. I don't mind admitting it. I didn't like it. I was like, could they have ripped off Man in the Box anymore? But then I would just listen to it more and more because I would watch the movie. And I was like, this song's fucking, it's like, so, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if the song does sound spooky or not, because I only feel like I can only relate it to the movie when I hear it. But it really, like, dude, any time of the year I listen to that song, I get a chill. Like, I could just feel that Halloween breeze.
Yeah.
And it's just the perfect song now. I love it so much.
You're talking about spooky. Nah, dude, I'll raise you one more. I think the perfect word to describe And Full Shine On is, ironically, the perfect word to describe Curse. Atmospheric, dude. I listen to that song and it feels so big. It's very simple, but it feels like so large. Like, everything about sonically that song, one, the riff is killer. Like, I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's a simplistic riff. Iron Man's a simplistic riff. It doesn't matter. It's a killer riff, but there's little things in that song that are happening in the background that I love so much. Like when you get the beginning where you get the, if you listen, you can hear the bass in the background, like boom.
And it's funny because the bass kind of reminds me of the essence of, like, it feels like wind.
Yes.
And I always envision that. I envision that pumpkin.
Yeah. No, when I hear the beginning of And Full Shine On, the first thing I think of is the overhead shot of the streets where in Curse, where it says Haddonfield Halloween, or like October 31st with the kids trick-or-treating right before we go into the Strode house. You know that shot I'm talking about. That, like, desaturated fucking, like, overhead Midwest fall shot. That's the shot I think of when I hear that riff, because I'm just like, dude, it works perfectly for the movie. I don't think it's creepy at all, the song, but I think it's just so atmospheric and it just creates a vibe. It's also kind of chill. Like, the chorus is bigger in a way because it gets loud. The song gets loud, but it's still really chill. Like, it's not intricate at all. I don't know. We're sitting here talking about Curse and we spent the last 5 minutes on Brother Kane, but, like, dude, it's just, there's something about this freaking movie, man. Like, it's also too, I think, for me and you specifically, I think a reason why people our age and around our age latch onto this movie is because this is what our childhood looked like. This is what that's what my childhood looked like. That's what houses looked like. That's how kids dressed. That's what the Midwest looked like in October. Like, it's simple things, dude. When John goes out, in his bathrobe, and you see on the front porch the bag of leaves that is in a
Dude.
pumpkin bag. We used to do that around Halloween to get we rake the leaves up into the pumpkin bags. Like, it's just so like emblematic of like my childhood. That's another reason why I just latch onto this movie.
I completely agree. If I can go back like into the movie context tense itself, when the 4K came out, where you had to buy all 3 movies together, which people bitched about, and also absolutely missed opportunity on Paramount for not doing a 30th anniversary steelbook this year. They very well should have and could have done it because they bought the movies.
Yeah, I bitched about it and got thousands of views on a video. So I was one of the ones that bitched about it too.
I know you did, but I don't know why they didn't do it. Absolute missed opportunity there, because I'm pretty sure H2O sold remarkably well for Paramount. But when the 4K came out, the first thing I did was watch the producer's cut. I watched them back to back. Sydney was furious. She was like, "This is what you're doing." But I remember I got the 4K and I was right in my living room and I watched that first, the producer's cut, because that was my preferred cut. I liked it. I liked that it went a little bit more into the darker side, because a lot of people, they have a problem naturally with the incestual story stuff about it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
My response to that is, well, that's a healthy reaction. I get that. But it's also the horror genre. It's supposed to invoke dark emotions sometimes. So it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, now we're talking. But because of those same feelings I get as the people that just say I don't like it, for me, it's just like, this is dark. Let's see where this goes. And I get intrigued when the horror genre goes in those dark routes. With that being said, though, there were things I really liked about it. Visually as well, and I like the ending. But when I watched the produced theatrical cut on 4K, I was like, wait a minute. Oh man, I had gotten away from the theatrical cut for enough time, because I probably stopped watching it since 2014, to be honest with you. And I remembered seeing those bizarre jars with the babies and shit in them, and it's like, what? And then the hallway sequence where Michael is kind of booking it. He's power walking in that red hall.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is gorgeous. Holy shit. And so then I was like, wait a minute. There's something here. And from that point on, I kind of changed my mind to where now I think I do prefer the theatrical cut. And Time Away was really good for me with that. And you miss some extra stuff with Donald Pleasance in it, but I think I really do think when you look at it now, symbolically, the film really does feel like Donald saying goodbye in the theatrical cut, as opposed to in the producer's cut. Because in the producer's cut,
it's like, oh, he's gonna be going on. Yeah.
It's like he's Jamie in 4, and so it's like,
but also there's one scene in the theatrical cut too that really, I think the theatrical cut keeps enough of Thorn and the cult. It keeps enough of it to where you can follow that and you can understand what's going on, but it also kind of roots out some of like the intricacies where they go deeper into it. Like even Tommy's monologue when he's talking to Kara about the constellation and everything, it's shorter in the theatrical cut. And it's little things.
And I like those elements too, by the way.
Yeah,
I like those elements.
I dig it, and I respect the hell out of Daniel Farrance for going like, how can I connect all of this shit? It had to have been a Herculean task, but I think the theatrical cut excises just enough of that super weird stuff, while also keeping enough to where you can understand it. But that third act, dude, in the theatrical cut, it's just money. It's just money. I mean, it's not just Donald's goodbye and the room with the jars and shit. That operating room massacre. Oh my God. Like, they should have put a warning at the beginning of that movie for people with epilepsy. Like, I'm not even shitting you. Like,
you're right.
but I love that operating room massacre scene. It's just so good. And that final shot of the camera coming down to Michael's mask just sitting on the ground and hearing Loomis, such a better ending. Like
It
I
is.
just love the third act of the theatrical cut. And that's what just takes it over the edge for me. A lot of people, they're purists with this movie, and I understand that. Hey, no, the intention was the producer's cut. Well, technically that's not even true. Daniel Ference
There's
himself
another
has
cut of that
said,
movie is there another
yep,
cut of that movie that we haven't seen, or is it
there's a
just that
director's cut. There is a director's cut bootleg that also made the rounds on eBay. I don't have that. I still don't have that yet. I plan on buying that bootleg.
Let's have a look.
But
I'm not trying to beat you to it, but like I gotta see now.
oh no, you're good. I've had a couple comments. I did a video last month on the original bootleg of the origin of Michael Myers.
Oh, you're telling your audience. It's hard keeping up. For once, it was hard keeping up.
I know. I'm doing videos every day. But I got comments on that video from people like, "Oh, I have the director's cut bootleg," and I'm like, "Man, I have heard about this thing for years." And even Dan Ference himself has acknowledged, she's like, there's another cut out there that I'm pretty sure is closer to what I wanted, closer to my original script. Because the producer's cut, Dan Ference would tell you himself, it is way closer than the theatrical cut to his script, but it's still not his script. So there are things in that cut of the movie that, I mean, it wasn't, Dan never got to put everything he wrote onto screen. But I believe in his telling of it. The thing that's closest is the director's cut, but that's a bootleg. So, and Lord knows if that, I mean, that'd be awesome to get a release of that eventually. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. Did you find it?
Not on eBay. I'm checking Etsy. Halloween 666. Producer's cut? No.
Director's cut bootleg. Let's see. So you can usually get the director's cut at conventions. That's what Reddit said. So
I've never seen it, but then again,
well, I would imagine if you go to, 40 years of terror, 45 years of terror, you probably could have gotten it there. I almost guarantee it. Because that's where a lot of people.
I'm going to
50. I know.
I'm serious. I'll go and I'll fly. I'll suck it up.
I already told you I'm going too. Like it's something I'm doing. I'm not missing 50. Like there's no way I'm missing 50. So,
and that's going to be 2028. Okay. Wow, it's closer than I thought.
Yep. Yeah, and I've talked to dude. The crazy thing is, man, it's not just me. Obviously, I've cultivated a decent amount of Halloween fans onto my channel, and a lot of people are saying like I'm going to. Like I haven't been to any of them. There's no way I'm going to miss 50. And I mean, Sean told me and you, dude, like everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Like he was like literally everybody. I jokingly said to Sean, what about Rob Zombie? And he's like, because I know that Rob Zombie famously was like, fuck that. I'm not going to Halloween conventions. He wouldn't rule that out. He wouldn't rule it out. He's like, I mean, it's not, not incredibly likely, but it's not off the table. Like,
yeah,
dude, everyone who's anyone with Halloween's going to be there. And God willing, some of these people are still alive. And if they are, it might be the last time you get to see these people. I mean, I hate to say that, but like Tom Atkins, John Carpenter, they're getting up there, man. So like, yeah, Halloween fans, you got to go to 50. You got to go to 50. You got 3 years to save for it. I mean, 3 years.
I'm going. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to go. I am.
This is what I'm doing, Christian. And I wanted to tell you.
And I'm listening. I'm just going to open the door so my dog could go pee outside.
You're good.
I got my earphones on.
I am going to put a little bit of money from every YouTube check over the next 3 years aside for this. Like I told myself that because I was like, with airfare, with a hotel, and then you want to bring, let's be realistic here. if you're going to a normal con, you want to bring a couple $100 always. You go into a Halloween con, you're going to want to bring a couple thousand. Like that's the truth. So
I would want to bring, dude, you know what sucks? I was just thinking to myself, I want to bring my Halloween 6 poster and get the dad to sign it. And I want him to sign Bastard. He passed away. Son of a bitch.
Yep, you did.
God
You did.
damn it.
But you know who's still alive? Marianne Hagan, who played Kara Strode. And they gave her so much shit for her appearance before she got booked the role in that movie. Miramax didn't like her, even though they gave her the role. Let me tell you something. She has aged like a fine wine.
She
brother.
has.
Yes. Really, really excited to meet her. Dude, I'm so I can't freaking wait. But yeah, Sydney, you said Sydney wouldn't go with you, would she?
I don't know. I mean, the idea of going to California might be something she'd be into. We just have to, I don't know what our life is.
You'd be in Pasadena, Christian. So, you make it a week-long trip. Yeah, sure, the convention's a weekend, but then you have 4 days. Go see the Myers house. Go see the filming locations from Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like, there's tons of shit to do out there.
Yeah. I just have to see what our life looks like at that point,
Hey,
but
I brought an
I'm
8-month-old. I brought an 8-month-old the first time I went with my ex-wife. We had an 8-month-old, and there's in my locations videos, you can see at multiple points my ex-wife carrying our kid around in that thing that you strap onto the front, and he's just walking the streets of Haddonfield at 8 months old.
That's funny.
I got to give her credit, man. I got to give her credit. She was a trooper with that. By the end of the night, though, she was like, we got to stop. Like we've driven all over Los Angeles. And I'm like, we got to go one more place. Like,
and don't get me wrong. Like to be able to go there to see the Elm Street house, that's awesome. But when you think California, you think Pasadena, like the only thing that I'm just like, oh my God, I got to see that would definitely be the Myers house. I mean, more than anything.
Would you take a rock? Would you take a rock?
Oh, I'd probably take the rocking chair off the front. Man,
no, I got one comment on that video.
I'm not saying I'm somebody, but I have enough people that watch me that like I couldn't get away with that. Like if I seriously try to take a chair, I couldn't get away with that.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. I think the first place I'm going to get recognized is 50 Years of Terror. Because there's going to be a bunch of Halloween fans there. Like, I'm sure some people that watch my channel will be like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, which will, be, yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people that watch me, too, are in California. So, I mean, yeah, it'll be
sure
great.
Akeem will be there. He lives in LA. I'm sure he'll go to 50. There'll
be a lot of people there, I think, dude. I want to go. So I really do want to go.
If you guys, he's going. He's going. He and I have already talked about this. It's not about wanting to go. He's going. So, like, if you guys are in that area or you're planning to go to 50,
I want to take like a big picture with a bunch of people in front of the Myers house.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say we need to coordinate something by then, leading up to it. Like, hey, if you listen to Uneeda or you're a fan of either one of our channels and you're gonna be there, like Wham did when they asked us, like, hey, we're going to get a group of people and we're going to go get like beers and dinner tonight. And we didn't go because we were obviously with other people, different schedules, blah, blah, blah. But like, I want to do something like that. I think that'd be really cool to be like, hey guys, and also I think we talked about the idea of doing another in-person episode while we're there. I mean,
if we're there, if we're there, we'll do something.
Yeah. So
of course
it's going to be awesome. If you got 3 years, you got 3 years, put $50 aside every month. If you can, like maybe cut down on your 4Ks, one a month, and take that savings and put it into an account for this. Like, I'm serious. I
agree.
Yeah, it's going to be worth it. But anyway, back to Curse. So we talked about the music. We talked about the atmosphere. One of the things that always bothered me, you remember the era, the late 2000s, early 2010s on YouTube, where people were showing their Halloween collections. That's when it was really popular. That's when I showed
That's how I found you. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that I would see so many videos of people when they would get to Curse and they'd show the DVD or the VHS and it had that quote on it that said the scariest Halloween of them all. And people would always scoff at it. Whether you love or hate the movie, I'm going to go ahead and stick my neck out for it and say it's pretty freaking freaky. Like, Michael Myers is relentless in the movie. I don't know. I mean, I think it's pretty scary for a Halloween movie.
Yeah, it does say that, doesn't it? I agree. I do think this is the scariest of them all. I think this is my favorite, my hands down, my favorite portrayal of the character. I love the Nick Castle, I love all that, but and I love Jack Warlock too. But like to me, the scariest Michael ever looked is when you get to see him take that nurse and push her up. There's that just random ass blade. Okay, when he shoves her up, and then you get the camera pans out, and you get that shot of him right next to her, looking at her. That is a big, mean mother. Like that is the scariest shit. Or when you get to see Michael coming across, like when little Danny's looking out and the weather's bad, and you see Michael coming. He's a force, dude.
Yeah.
That Michael. And I love the mask. To me, there's always a little bit of a smirk on that mask. Just a little bit of a smirk that like it's almost like devilish in the Halloween 6 mask. This is to me, this is hands down the scariest one. I mean, seriously, if there was one Michael I would not want to run into, like if I was like, which one, like would you, if you could avoid one Michael, not which one would be, it'd be 6, hands down. I'd take my chances with, I'd put up a fight against one. Pretty good. I'd put up a pretty good
think
fight.
I think so too. But no, it's 6, it's Tyler Mane, and it's James Jude specifically in kills. Those 3 versions of Michael, dude, I'd get cooked. My ass is grass.
Yeah. But I really think that the best Michael of all time for me is George. George just had his hands. He had these mitts on him.
Oh, they're huge.
His hands always look great on camera. He was devilish looking.
But here, you mentioned multiple scenes in Halloween 6 that are effective and freaky. Dude, the one thing from the very first time I saw this movie that gave me goosebumps and like just I didn't like the way it made me feel is the scene where he kills Beth, specifically in the theatrical cut. You got Kara looking from across the street, and you see Michael. First off, how that scene begins is awesome, where he comes out of the shadow in the bathroom and kills Tim and then disappears back into the shadows. Love that. But to have Kara watching and you see Michael walk in while Beth is on the phone, and when he goes to kill her, it's so deliberate. And I love the choice to slow it down in the editing there, because it's painful to watch, but there's also this distorted like whoa noise as it's happening, and it's just, and every time the knife goes in, you get like a noise.
Oh yeah,
it just, that kill specifically, the first time I watched that movie, I was like, I don't like the way that made me feel. Like that's freaky, dude. We're talking about Curse now. Christian's like, I need to watch Curse tonight. Shit.
I you know what? I do want to watch it. I don't want to watch it too close to Halloween. Like maybe I'll watch it this weekend. I did a video on it last year for Halloween, so I got to figure out which other one I could do. But I'd almost just rather redo the same video again.
Or you could look up the director's cut information, and you could try to make a video chronicling that director's cut.
Yeah, I thought I don't think I necessarily covered that. I remember when I was reading Taking Shape, I talked about Halloween 666. But I don't remember. That was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now. So I don't even know if I remember what I said in that video. But it went over like Quentin Tarantino somewhat getting close to directing it. Not that close, but definitely being interested and things like that. But I don't remember what I said about it. But God, man. No, there's also some hysterically funny things about this movie that I gotta just talk about that always make me laugh. Like,
I know you're gonna say, I know one of them.
Well, there's a few of them.
I think
one
it's cool.
specifically, one specifically is actually like how insane Paul Rudd is in this movie. But the funniest thing of all time is having the fucking gall to, like, there's a window he somehow has this window in his bedroom that is level apparently with the floor of the room, where he just stands not even a little distant from it, but stands right the fuck next to it and just stares at him as they're driving. I would be like, I would say something. It would be so obvious. They just kind of seeing like that's that Tommy Doyle guy, right? Yeah, he was the kid that was getting babysitted by Michael. And you just see him. I would stop the car. I'd be like, what the fuck are you looking at, dude? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Because he was just staring right in the goddamn window. And then probably the best scene of all time is at the
Don't say it.
hospital. Dude,
Oh,
like
when he has the
like,
baby.
and it's just like his delivery. He has to go, "Now give me a doctor." Like, you can tell it's so unnatural and bad that
No, my favorite
so
Paul Rudd
bad.
moment in this movie, and I've heard people say this is a bad moment. I totally disagree. When he's trying to break the door open to get Kara out with the fire extinguisher, and Michael comes out of the room and stops and looks at him, and he like stops and he gives
laughs.
him that like laugh, and he's like, "Hey, buddy," and then he goes back to trying to break the door up. I love that moment. Like, because I actually feel like that's a genuine human reaction in that moment. It's like oh shit. Like I don't know. Like, I feel like I would do something similar. Like, that's like I just shit my pants moment. But also I have to break this door open. Like, I love that moment. I love Paul Rudd in this movie. I don't care what anybody says. People say he's bad in this movie. Yeah, there's a delivery here or there that I'm like, okay, that wasn't great. Like, you're talking about the hospital moment. But I think overall, he did what they asked of this character, the way it was written. He needs to be this recluse weirdo, like, that you just don't feel comfortable around. Like, there's just something off about this guy. Dude, he did it. Like, how else could you? I think Paul Rudd did a great job. Best Tommy Doyle.
You know what's so funny about this, dude? I was just looking at the VHS. Have you ever noticed this? On the tape itself, let me see if it'll focus. Give it a second. It says, recommend this movie to friends in the top left corner. What the fuck?
I have the VHS. I've never noticed that, though. I'm sure it's on mine too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember where I got this VHS. I still have the little proof of purchase thing down there. Now, I remember when I got the laser disc for this, for some reason I had my hopes up that it would be the producer's cut. Obviously it wasn't, but I don't know, dude. This movie's fucking, it's like, I know what I'm going to do this year, dude. I know what I'm going to do. I'm re-ranking the movies. I'm re-ranking them. The last time I did it was 2020, maybe 2021.
I do it every year.
All the Blumhouse movies weren't even out yet. I'm re-ranking them, man. And I think when I did it, the last
better
time
be top 5.
I'm pretty sure it was last time, but I mean, dude, this fucking movie, like, the older we get, it's like, I don't know. I don't know how you feel, but like, I feel like like when it comes to Elm Street and Friday and Halloween, you have your favorite, but like, I feel like you can also identify with one from the series, even if it's not your favorite. And when I think of Halloween, for some reason, I identify with 6. And I think it's because of a lot of things we've talked about. The fact that it was the first Halloween film that was made when we were alive. The fact that, the movie symbolizes a part of our youth that, we remember what the world smelt like, what it felt like when we watch it. And it's like, it's like a marker for us. And I think everybody has that. And I think a lot of people our age, I don't know. It's like, because I don't keep up with a lot of, there's obviously been a lot of YouTubers that come out and stuff over the last 10 years that are a new generation. And I don't really know what they're saying about this movie. I don't know.
They don't like it.
But I feel like
they don't like it.
And you know what? Opinions change, but I just know that I feel like a lot of people our age, they do like it. And, I think it's probably for a lot of the same reasons we've talked about, that it's a marker for millennials to a certain degree.
It's a place and
And
time, man. Like it's
yeah.
like a landmark for us. And I think the best way I can describe it, you and I talked about this a couple years ago. I would tell you about how I didn't like those Instagram reels that I like them and I don't like them, where it's like a compilation of photos, like, you know, getting on the bus for Christmas break, like to start a Christmas break. And like, it's these old photos from the late 90s, early 2000s that are supposed to make you feel nostalgic and like long for that again and realize like, you know, one day you never realized it was going to be your last Friday before Christmas break or your last Christmas party at school, like those kind of Instagram reels. This movie is that. Like it's that place and time. It's like you can transport yourself back to that. And it's just like before anything got complicated, dude, like anything at all. And I think that we love the 80s, but we didn't live in the 80s. Like we can't relate to it. We can opine, and we largely do in the horror community for people that didn't grow up in the 80s, of like, man, I wish I did. This was so cool. This is so, you know, retro and awesome. The 90s were different because I did live in the 90s and I do remember the 90s. So like a movie like this, I don't know, man. It's just like, it takes me back to wearing overalls to my first day in kindergarten and shit. Like, it's like, I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. And yeah, dude, it doesn't surprise me. It's a generational thing. You touched on it there where you're like, I don't know what people in this newer generation think of this movie. They don't like it. This newer generation, Christian, it will not shock you to know, they love the Blumhouse movies largely. You know, being someone that has done a lot of Halloween videos myself and looking at the comments, you can tell. People will be like, I'm 19, you know, the Blumhouse movies they're my go-to and stuff like that. I'm 35 and I love the Thorn trilogy. Like it's just a generational thing. I'm just happy to know that you and I were born before the Thorn trilogy ended, so we could catch the tail end of it. And we have memories of that time period. And I think that's why we love that timeline specifically in this franchise. It's just like, I don't know. I don't remember 1989, but I remember the late 90s. So, you know, it's just, I don't know, dude. Curse. It's a damn good movie. It just really is. I mean, it really is. You want to talk about a ridiculous plot. I mean, we're the sixth movie in a slasher franchise in the mid 90s, guys. You know, like they're trying to tie up a bunch of loose ends. They're trying to make a bunch of shit make sense. It's not all going to stick. But at the end of the day, do you at least understand it? Yeah, you can understand the plot. Whether you think it's nonsensical or not, that's beside the point. You can understand it. You don't walk away from the movie going like, why was this the way it was? They explain it. You may not like the answers, but they explain it. But this movie is just heavy metal, dude. Like it's even the score, that guitar, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just imagine Alan Howard in the studio just
on
going
cocaine, bro. Like
ripping on guitar.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, that's
it's
so
just
funny.
It was the end of an era for Halloween. And I don't think it's ever been touched again. There's movies in the franchise since that I like more, like Rob's Halloween 2, but it's for different reasons. Like I'm never going to have although I do have a lot of nostalgia for Rob's movies, and you do too, because those were our first theatrical Halloween experiences. You know, you're always going to remember those. Same thing with Nightmare 2010. I think that's part of the reason why I'm softer on it, because it's my only Nightmare theater experience. The only one. When Freddy vs. Jason came out, I was 9. I didn't go see that in theaters. So, you know, I have a soft spot for 2010 because it was just the first time I got to see Freddy on the big screen. It was a different Freddy, sure, but I got to hear the Elm Street theme and you know, see the glove and the sweater on the big screen. Like that just meant something to me. And I think it's a perfect segue for the end of the episode, you know, as we're wrapping up. We talked about this at the beginning, you know, with Spirit just totally underrepresenting Freddy and stuff. And it's like, dude, it's amazing how we do this, by the way. Like, I'm just going to say, we fucking segue into shit. We don't get enough credit. Is there podcast awards? Because, like, we should be nominated. You will think that we're just rambling, and it all ties together. We're literally bringing the beginning of the episode into the end seamlessly. to say that place and time, that time capsule, 1995's Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, and what it reminds you of and how it made you feel. I want that again in some way. Like, I want this generation to have that with Freddy Krueger, their own Freddy. I want them to be able to 20 years from now look back and be like, that's my Freddy. I remember that. I remember that place and time. Like, you know, like, I don't know, dude. It's to some people it's lame, and I've made videos about it, and some people have been like, dude, who cares? You know, I'm sure when you made that video like 2 or 3 years ago, where you got real, I'll never forget that video. And you were like, that's why I shared that to my story the other day when you posted the picture with the sets, and I said like, I'm happiest for you today of all people, because like you've been banging the drum louder than anybody, longer than anybody. You made a video basically like putting out the plea, like, what the fuck, guys? Like, where's the give a shit for Elm Street? Like, it's just, this is ridiculous. So, like, yeah, I mean, I want that for this next generation. And it just seems like these companies don't care. I don't know. Am I being nihilistic?
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they got something going on to where they can't just, if they wanted to start a production tomorrow, there's something stopping them. I'll give them there has to be, because I think that these Nightmare sets sold astronomically well, and they got to say, oh, wow, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should make a movie. But, you know, I'm sure it has something to do with the script. If it's like, you know, it's as old now as that Friday script, where it's old enough to where all the stuff in that script goes to the kids, and you know they can't make a movie unless the kids sign off, get paid, etc., etc. Maybe that's a nightmare, no pun intended. That's the only thing, dude, because you can't. No company could be that dumb.
No,
Dumb, you know. So
no successful company. Yeah,
that's the only thing I could think of.
I don't know, Christian.
So,
I don't know. It's just, it sucks, man. Like, it sucks. I'm not even, I mean, my favorite franchise is Halloween, obviously. Like, everybody knows that. But like, dude, I miss Freddy. I miss Freddy. Like, I do. I miss Freddy Krueger. Like, it sucks. Like,
I'm taking the W right now, though, man. It has been really fun watching these on 4K. You know, I'm taking the W, and
yeah, I was confused because when I shared that to my story the other day, you like replied like, ha 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 ha. And I was like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm being legit. Like, I don't know if you thought I meant like I'm happiest for baby Freddy. Like, no, I meant
oh,
like,
I think I did. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I
no, I was like, no, I'm happy for Christian right now. Like, he's been waiting for this day forever. Like, it's awesome for him. Like, that's all I was thinking.
That's probably what I thought.
Yeah, I was like, does he think I'm talking about baby Freddy? Like,
no, then I happened to see the podcast page updated a story. I was, let me go look at that, and then I did, and it was like, wait for it, and I was like, wait for what? And it was like, a little bastard, and it cuts to me. I'm like, what the fuck?
I put you where? Yeah, I put
that
you where
made me
Danny
laugh.
was.
That made me laugh. That made me laugh.
I was given hints without directly telling people, hey, we're covering Halloween 6. Like, I was.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I mean, I just, because I remember that feeling for me in 2014 with the complete collection set. Like, dude, I
was marking the fuck out for that too.
I couldn't wait as a Halloween, and I remember that feeling in 2016 when they announced 2018, like that it was coming out.
Sorry,
and I was like, oh my god, like this is insane. Like, it made me make a YouTube video. I was never making YouTube videos back then. I literally like just put up my phone and I was like, holy shit, guys, a new Halloween movie. Like, yeah, dude, when this got announced, and as it got closer, I was like, dude, Christian is about to go fucking ham. Like, and here you are. Like, and I knew you were too. I was like, he is about to just,
I'm enjoying it, man.
Rip it, brother.
I'll tell you what the blessing is, you know, one of the big blessings, and it means a lot to me, is my audience. I will check the comments of my last couple videos. I think I did a video yesterday where I just kind of showed the sets off, and then I'm reviewing. I don't know how many people are doing this, but I'm reviewing the movies just 2 at a time. And I saw a number of comments that were like, "I was really looking forward to your videos, man. This is awesome. I'm happy for you." And I'm just like, well, "That's cool. It's cool to know that a lot of people were kind of like, I know this meant a lot to you, Christian. So it feels good. It feels good to be able to enjoy them and to know that people. It's weird. It's like because I'm nobody, but it's like I guess some people they're just like, I know Christian's excited for this. So
This
it feels. Yeah, it
motherfucker,
does. It feels pretty good, dude.
this motherfucker has almost 50,000 subs, and he's saying he's nobody, dude. You got you. I don't even consider myself like, obviously, like if you got 40,000 plus people that give a shit about what you have to say. You're definitely not nobody. That's like a football stadium's amount of people, okay? The amount of people that go watch their team play on a fucking Sunday, that number of people watch your shit. Like you're not a nobody, first of all. But I know it's more about, it's a humble thing for you. I get it. Like, and that's the right way to look at it. I'm just saying though, like, these people know how much it means to you. And like, I've gotten comments over the years about Halloween stuff too. Like, you were the first person I thought of when I saw this. You were the first, I was waiting for your video on this topic. And that shit's really cool because like some people, it's the vast minority, like 1%. That'll be like, who cares? Why do you care so much? But everybody else that's invested in your shit, like they know what it means to you. And like, they want to hear what you have to say. They don't give a shit about Tom, Dick, and Harry. Look what I just got. Let me watch me rip the plastic off. Oh, isn't that great? Go buy it. They don't give a shit. Like, no. They want to know what the Elm Street fan thinks about these supposedly great transfers. Is it actually that great? They're going to take your opinion over anybody else's. I mean, that's just the way it is. So, like, I'm just going to, you won't gas yourself up. I get it. That's fine. I'll do it for you. And saying, like, your opinion on this shit matters to thousands of people. So don't forget that. Like, and that's how I feel about Halloween. My opinion on Halloween matters to thousands of people for some reason. So it's important to remember that. And you could have done these, Christian. You could have done them one at a time. Milk the fuck out of it. You could have done one video going, okay, here's all the specs on it. And then another video going, okay, here's the info on what I thought of the appearance. Like, you could have done 2 videos on each one.
Well,
like,
I think the reason I didn't do that is because I think even I would get pretty burnt out if I did it like one at a time, Yeah. So it's just perfect. It made sense. If I did 2 at a time, there's an even number of films, so I could do it that way. But no, point taken. And yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been very much a pleasure. And tomorrow I should be able to watch Freddy's Dead. And Saturday I'll watch New Nightmare.
You doing 3D?
Well, that portion of it, I'll watch in 3D.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's like never mind, I can't say this on air, but I'll tell you afterwards. But yeah, I'm gonna watch Freddy's Dead tomorrow.
Don't forget either. Saturday. Don't have a brain fart and be like, "Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say."
I won't. But no, I'll say this though for the audience is we will do a live. We will do a live for Halloween or for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. And we're also doing one with Piz on his channel. Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know what date it'll be. Hold on, my earphones died. So let me just swap to my computer. I use my speaker. All right.
Doing a live also for closer to Halloween. I think we should bring Brandon on for that because we had Brandon on for one like 2 years ago, and that was fun. We just got stupid. Also, people have been telling me that Mark specifically said, "Dude, you need to be on Christian's stream when him and Brandon carve pumpkins. I want to see if," and I was like, I didn't even know they do that. And Mark was like, "Yeah, dude, like, I want to see if anybody can basically like compare to Brandon." Because he asked me if I'm any good at it. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good at carving pumpkins." So we'll definitely do a live on my channel for Uneeda and hopefully Brandon will come on for that. We're doing one with Piz on Piz's channel. We don't know when yet. Lee's going to be a part of that too, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
I think-
is. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, yeah, it should be a pretty busy streaming situation. There is the pumpkin carving contest. Yeah, we'll obviously do a live, and I'll tell you what, for anybody listening too, whatever we do for Uneeda live, I'll stream it as well on to my audience too. So it'll probably be a very, very big house with the two of our shows combined. So that'll be cool. And yeah, we got the one with Piz. We don't have a date for that yet, but you know, I'm sure that'll all come out. So
yeah, your boy, I'm no longer little rinky dink. I mean, I'm still rinky dink to a lot of people, but once I broke 10K, I was like, okay, I'm not a total nobody anymore, just kind of a nobody. So yeah,
I think you probably feel like me. You've been doing it long enough to where you feel like you should be farther along than what you are. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I
like that's how I really
people
felt.
that have been doing it half the time that I have. Now, granted, they dedicate a lot more time to it and have dedicated more often, you know. But I would say over the last 3 months, and I've had comments, people say this, like I've been one of the most consistent, you know, in terms of like putting out content. That matters to a lot of people, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's like when they expect a video from you like every day, they're kind of bummed when they don't get one.
If they get used to it, that's the thing. You got to deliver it. Otherwise, they'll forget about you fast.
And then you see that ad revenue from the month where you upload it every day and you're going, yeah, I don't want to lose that. Yeah. Because Christian told me one of the things about this is like when you get your first big month on YouTube, he's like, you don't want to get to a point to where you're relying on it. But at the same time, you should use that as motivation to be like, I could do that every month and then some. So yeah, but yeah, it's going to be a busy month, guys. But look, this is what I can leave y'all with. And I said this in the video I uploaded today, and I actually got a couple comments that were like, dude, your outro was perfect. I'll just kind of double down on that outro in my upload just to say, like, it's October, like, soak it in. You know, you got 4 weeks of this. You got 4 weeks of nostalgia and watching things that you only watch once a year and decorating and all this kind of stuff. Like, enjoy it. We're both in our 30s now, and I can tell you that like it goes by fast, man. And like I don't know when my last Halloween will be. So every year I want to make sure when I get to the end of the month, I'm like, do I feel like I did enough? Like, do I feel like I enjoyed it enough that I took full advantage of it? To some people that's trivial. The fuck, who cares? It's Halloween. Yeah, but to a lot of people, it means everything to them. So don't let that, you know, that fire inside you die. You know, don't let that little candle of the young you die. You know, like this time of year is when you're supposed to kind of tap back into that and kind of like shut out a lot of the shit in the outside world and just find things that bring you like comfort and peace and take you back to a simpler time and just forget about all the noise for a couple weeks. So take full advantage of this. I still watch shit I used to watch as a kid, Christian. I still watch Halloween Town. And now I can say, oh, I'm showing my kid. Yeah, I'm showing my kid. No, at
least you have that as an excuse at least. Me and Sydney, we watch The Great Pumpkin. We just fucking love it.
I watch that every year as well. And my son doesn't get into that. He finds it boring.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I watch it every year. So yeah, guys, I mean, just take full advantage of it, you know. And I just hope that, you know, it'd be perfect. No, never mind. I'm not even going to speak that into existence. I was going to make a joke about my death, but not going to do that. So Christian, you got anything to say to the people before we head on out?
Yeah, we will see you again before Halloween, so don't worry about that. But as always, as simple as it sounds, I mean it. Thank you all very, very much for watching. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, guys, took us an hour to get into the curse stuff, but that's Uneeda.
That's all right.
You don't. Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching this. Share this with your friends, your mom, your dad. You know, like it. Comment down below. We covered so much in this episode. We always do. So whatever it is that you want to talk about from this episode, come on, get down in there. get down on it. I'll do my best to engage with that as well. But and like I said earlier, I'll just leave you guys with this. If you have anything bad to say about Donald Pleasance or Paul Rudd and Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, fuck you.
Go fuck